Welcome to the Elon Effect, your daily check-in with everything orbiting the worlds of SpaceX, Tesla, X, Neuralink, and the Boring Company. I'm your host, Miles Vega. Let's dive in. There's a new brain-computer startup emerging from Silicon Valley's most familiar face, and it's one that could directly challenge Elon Musk's Neuralink. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is quietly building Merge Labs, a venture designed to decode human thought without cutting into the brain. According to a report from The Verge, Altman has enlisted Caltech researcher Mikhail Shapiro, one of the world's leading biomolecular engineers, to develop a brain interface that relies on sound waves rather than surgical implants. The concept is simple in theory, but radical in implication. Instead of inserting electrodes into the cortex, Merge Labs aims to use ultrasound and magnetic fields to read neural activity non-invasively. Shapiro, 37, currently directs the Center for Molecular and Cellular Medicine at Caltech and has spent years pioneering gene therapies that make cells respond to ultrasound. His team's research has shown that by modifying certain genes, neurons can be made to interact with sound waves, essentially turning the brain into a readable acoustic field. It's easier to introduce genes into cells than to implant electrodes into the brain, Shapiro said recently. My mission is to build ways to interface with neurons in ways that are less invasive, more precise, and far safer. The new company's design philosophy directly contrasts with Neuralink's approach. Musk's implant uses a surgical robot to weave a coin-sized chip into the brain's surface, embedding 1,024 electrodes capable of recording neural signals. The technology has shown extraordinary promise for restoring movement and communication to paralyzed patients, most famously through Nolan Darbaugh, who used Neuralink's chip to control a computer and robotic arm using only his thoughts. But the system's surgical invasiveness has drawn criticism, both from medical ethicists and from technologists like Altman himself. During a press dinner this summer, Altman said, "I would definitely not sew something into my brain that could damage neurons." Instead, he described his vision as something that allows a user to simply think and have ChatGPT respond, an almost frictionless merge between human cognition and AI processing. That idea, if realized, would mark a profound shift in how we think about human-machine communication. Unlike Neuralink, which aims first at clinical use, helping patients with paralysis or blindness, Merge Labs appears to be targeting mainstream cognitive enhancement from the start. The system could, in theory, interpret thoughts and translate them into digital commands using non-invasive scanning combined with AI-driven pattern recognition. If successful, it would allow users to control devices, generate text, or communicate telepathically without implants or external controllers. It's worth noting that both Musk and Altman share the same long-term goal, merging humans with artificial intelligence to prevent being outpaced by it. But their methods and philosophies couldn't be more different. Musk believes direct brain-machine fusion requires surgical precision and real-time data from within the cortex itself. Altman seems to be betting that biology can be rewritten, using genetic engineering and acoustic feedback to achieve the same result with no surgery required. That difference could define the next era of neurotechnology. Neuralink has already implanted more than a dozen patients and proven its system can function safely in humans. But Merge Labs may appeal to a broader audience wary of going under the knife. If ultrasound-based decoding can achieve even partial accuracy of Neuralink's implant, the race for a consumer-ready mind-AI interface could get very interesting. Altman's project remains in stealth for now, but with researchers like Shapiro on board and co-founder Alex Blania reportedly involved, Merge Labs may be positioning itself as Neuralink's first true competitor, not in hype, but in technology that everyday people might actually choose to use. In Silicon Valley's next big frontier, it's not about who connects the brain to machines first, it's about who makes the idea feel safe enough to try. That's your tech news for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing and leaving a quick review. I'm Miles Vega, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.